Hi everybody. The quadratic formula looks like this. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. But what does it all mean? Well, that means if you have an equation that looks like this, 4x squared equals 8 minus 3x, and we want the solution to that. We want to solve that equation. By the way, I'm still hearing people telling me solution means the answer. Okay, no, we're not playing Jeopardy here, folks. I mean, this is not what you put in the blank. A solution has a very specific meaning. That's the value for the variables that makes a statement true. In other words, we have here a statement. This side equals this side. Now that statement may be either true or false depending on what I make x equal to. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the value for x that makes this statement true. So first I have to put this in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. I subtract 8 and I add 3x. Subtract 8 and add 3x. Cancel, cancel. 4x squared, putting this in standard form, plus 3x minus 8 equals 0. So a equals 4, b equals 3, c equals negative 8. So how does that work in the quadratic equation? X equals negative b, which is negative 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 9, minus 4 times a times c. Well, if you're subtracting, 4 times a, that's 16, times 8. Okay, 16 times 8, I believe, is 128. So, and that's going to be plus 128. Because a negative, you got negative 4 times negative 8. So that's going to be a positive 128. And over 2a, 2 times 4 is 8. And equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 137. Okay. Over 8. This is what we call an exact answer. Okay, it's in radical form. This is an exact answer. If it says give the exact answer and nothing else, then we're done. But I'm pretty sure we have to do something else, which means let's see what we can do with the calculator here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put negative 3 plus square root of 137, close parentheses, and divide that by 8. What I did is I just put this the whole numerator, in parentheses and divided by 8. And I get 1.09 approximately. So that's approximately 1.09, comma, second entry. I'm just putting the same thing back again. I'm going to go back and edit this. The plus now is going to turn into a minus. Make sure I use the correct minus sign. Enter, and negative 1.84 is the answer there. So negative 1.84. Now, at this point, I'm going to double check, and I'm going to use my calculator to double check. Clear. And I go 4x squared, 4x squared. That is my first y. You remember, to double check, I'm going to put, this one is going to be y1, and this one's going to be y2. So y2 is 8 minus 3x. graph those two. And we're going to find out now. First of all, I'm going to move this thing up a little bit. I'm going to change my window. Y max, I'm going to make that 20 and make this -2. How's that? And now, as you can see, I can see both intersections. And so I go second calc, and I want the intersection, which is number 5. Find out where these two cross. So this is first curve. I move my cursor up to the right near the intersection. I hit enter, enter, enter. -1.84. Isn't that pretty close to what I had there? It's exactly what I had there. And then the other intersection, number 5, goes like this, right there, enter, 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 1.09, okay? So that's how you do this, and that's how you check your answer. Now, I always get the same thing with students saying that, hey, can't I just use my calculator? What do I need to go through all this for? Well, for one thing, you won't get your credit if you don't go through all this. That's the first thing. And the second thing is the reason for this is very simple. You need to know how to use the quadratic formula. There's one more thing you need to know, okay? And I'll get rid of all this stuff here. And that is that the axis of symmetry, we're going to use part of that quadratic formula to find the axis of symmetry, and that is x equals -b over 2a. Remember the quadratic formula, x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that was a little bit goofy, but hopefully you can see that. Well, if I get rid of this, okay, I have -b over 2a. And that's my axis of symmetry. We can go through all the math and figure out all this stuff if you want, but I don't think you want to spend that time doing that right now. So let's see, what does that mean? That means, excuse me, if I have 2x squared plus 8x plus 19, and this is a function, f of x equals, what is my axis of symmetry? All I have to do is identify A, B, and I don't need C, but at any rate, C is 19. So, -b, that's -8, over 2 times A, which is 4. 2 times A is 4, -2. That's my x. X equals -2 is my vertical line. That's the axis of symmetry. And what are the points of my vertex? Well, the vertex is at -2 and something else. Well, if I want to find out what that something else is, I simply go to the original f of x, and I'm going to find f at -2 equals 2 times -2 quantity squared plus 8 times -2 plus 19. -2 squared is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. -2 times 8 is -16 plus 19. 8 plus 19 is 27 minus 16 is equal to 11. So that's what goes up in here. So 2 and 11. This is my vertex, okay? This is how you do stuff like this. And if you need to go through this again, that's fine. You guys are getting a little more advanced now than you were, 3 months ago. So I'm going through these a little more quickly now. And remember, if you're having difficulty, if you need to slow down the video or go back over a certain section again, or most importantly, write down questions. If you have questions about how this works, write them down and bring them into class. And if you bring questions into class, then we can discuss them. If you come into class and sit there and just look straight ahead and say, I don't understand anything, well, we have nowhere to start. So Anyway, I'm going to go through this whole thing again when we come into class. So thank you for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye.